Queen Monique was born and raised in East Atlanta. As a child, she was a straight-A student and had many questions about the world and how things work. She would always speak up for anyone she thought was being treated unfairly. She stood for justice. The more she learned about the world and how everything works, her passion grew towards uplifting African Americans and uniting the whole African diaspora. She believes we have the power to overcome centuries of injustice and create a better future for generations to come. This is who I bring to you on The Gist with Chacha to share her story on how she turned her frustration into an adventure by searching for liberation in the land of her ancestors. She chose Ghana as a gateway to Africa.
Fighting for liberation has become a futile struggle. So why continue to fight for liberation when you can just fly back home to your root? Today on The Gist with Chacha, I'm going to have a very passionate Pan-Africanist. She is Queen Monique. She is right here with me on The Gist with Chacha. But before you get to hear from her, let us just go for this quick turn and I'll be right back in a jiffy. Thank you so much for staying with me, and as I said earlier, I am having Queen Monique. She is so pretty.
Wow, thank you.
Queen, you really look like a queen.
Thank you so much.
It's really good to have you here on the show.
Yes, I'm excited.
Monique, let us begin with a glimpse of your childhood. How was your childhood like?
So I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, more specifically East Atlanta, in a city called Decatur. And as a child, I was a very bright student, had a lot of questions about life and the way things work. I actually was a part of a program in my elementary school. It started where students in the lower part of the county, which was predominantly a black area, were bused up to a more affluent predominantly white area.
Okay.
So I grew up, surrounded by, people that I could relate to in my culture. And then in school, I had a different environment with, more diversity. But it actually allowed me to, be able to interact and understand all different types of people in different ways.
Okay.
And also I have like a really big family. So my family actually is from Atlanta on both sides. My mother's family and my father's family, they're both, have history in Atlanta. So my roots are really deep in the South of the United States. And we had really big family reunions and gatherings and everything like that. So I'm very family oriented, very protective of my friends and family, even from the, a young age. I always wanted to, stand up for them if I felt like something wasn't fair. It's just naturally in me. It really is.
Yeah, I am very certain you were very, very passionate about defending human rights and all that. But why were you so passionate about that at that tender age?
That's an excellent question. So it's interesting that my mother actually is a court reporter and my father is a lawyer. So I grew up kind of aware of the court system. And actually for my mom, I would proofread transcripts for money. So I got to literally, see trials from beginning to end and read through them and understand, how the criminal justice system works and the disparities and how, defendants are treated, and when there's not a quality representation for them, how they really get, the short end of the stick and really get their whole life can be thrown off based to the type of representation they had. So, that's what led me to wanting to become a public defender. And so that's when I went back to college, and studied political science and philosophy. I learned, all the deep thinkers of the world and just how everything works. And so I just wanted to be that quality, passionate representation for people that needed it in a system, that was really not working out for us very well. So that's when I finished school and I got into law school in Rhode Island, actually.
I can really relate that it was due to injustice and all that. So what was the major tragedy that happened to you due to this injustice?
Yes, so my second year of law school, my daughter's father was actually shot and killed by a police officer.
Oh.
Yes, while I was pregnant with my daughter. So it was a really major shock and, devastating circumstance because, I was already fighting for justice and trying to become a public defender, to try to make the criminal justice system better. And then I had my own personal story of injustice. And so I got to experience firsthand what it's like to lose someone in that way, and to have to regroup and rethink life because I had to, I decided to move back home to Atlanta so that I could have a healthy pregnancy for my baby. And I just had to kind of regroup and figure out what was next for me after that. But the way I pushed through it was just knowing that I wanted to feel happiness again, and I didn't want to stay in that hurt. So, I just pushed past and I just asked God to give me strength and to give me peace of mind again. That's all I really wanted. And, I feel like I pushed past and I've healed from it. I've really healed.
So sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's a very sad and touching one. So sorry about that. When we first met, I remember we spoke at length, and then you told me that you had to withdraw from law school. And then there was a very thought-provoking statement that you made. You said, I can't keep on being in a law system that doesn't defend me and my people. So you had to withdraw from law school in order to make sure that you are not part of the system. Was that sacrifice really worth it?
Yes. So, what happened with my daughter's father, that actually happened way back in 2016.
Okay.
And as we all know, there were many tragic events in the US that happened after that. And so the year 2020, basically, as we all know, again, was quite a roller coaster. And I feel like Black America really tried its best to come together and unite and fight against the many types of injustice that were occurring. So, we had the quarantine was going on, and everyone was battling back and forth about the COVID-19 virus. And then we also had many people, the George Floyd situation and Breonna Taylor. So I was actually an active participant in protesting and doing demonstrations. I actually was with Until Freedom in Louisville, Kentucky, and did a peaceful demonstration with them at the Attorney General's house to try to, demand justice for Breonna Taylor, because I really felt like I could relate to her as a person. And it was so traumatic watching how her life was lost and no justice was served at all. So, then we continue with trying to get, Trump out of office so that we can get a better presidential candidate. And, we all came together. Georgia worked really hard, Atlanta specifically, or the metro Atlanta area worked really hard to sway the election and make sure he was out. And, we overcame all these hurdles and obstacles. And then, just this year in 2021, there were more public police shootings of, unarmed Black people. Like even a young girl was killed. And so I started to get fed up at that point, because it's like we've exhausted our options of trying to get representation, quality representation, trying to vote, trying to encourage others to vote, trying to protest and speak out however we can. And it still seems like the motivation for change is not happening, and we're still kind of left empty-handed when it comes to what we're asking for. And so, originally I thought that going back to law school would, maybe help as me being in the system and trying to fight. But then, getting fed up with more and more injustice happening. And when you look overarching, like over the years, the last hundreds of years, like this didn't just start with injustice these past few years with, what we're seeing in the media. If you look back to
1930s.
Yeah, the 1930s. Before that, of course, hundreds of years of slavery. Then there was lynching period. They were angry once we were free. They were killing us and mutilating us. Like the lynching period, like people were lynched, mutilated, tortured,
and the
burned,
electric wheelchair,
and hung up on a tree, and they sat around and had picnics around us like it was a joke. Like the history of the United States is really is really dark when it comes to African American history, and so many people don't, it's not talked about. It's kind of pushed back, and people just look at the current injustice, but the injustice started from the very beginning of that country.
I read a book on native son, and in the 1930s, in Chicago, I realized that the racism was very, very high, was very rampant.
Absolutely.
We had black schools, white schools, we had, and
Yeah,
we even had a white god and black god. That was how big the racism was. So it's still ongoing.
Definitely, race, it's very divided. And even when there were, black, people coming together in communities, we had, the Black Wall Street and in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they were making it and thriving. And they literally got burned alive in their homes and burned down their businesses, and they covered it up and act like nothing happened, and they still consider, themselves the land of the free. And for me, when I learned about all of these things all together, and you look at it today and you see it continuing to happen, the frustration just continues to build. And so I feel like fighting and continuing to fight and be frustrated is a more frustrating path. I'd rather find a more peaceful, happy path out of that injustice.
Okay, so that was why you had to come back to Ghana, out of frustration.
Yes, for sure. I had been researching, because the thing about being an African American, our history was kind of wiped away. We don't know exactly, unless we research, exactly where our ancestors came from, because we all came on the ships or whatever. So I was interested. I know, West Africa, of course, and I had heard so much about Ghana being a peaceful place and welcoming. I saw a lot of articles and videos. I do. So it's so like welcoming us home and saying that you don't have to accept this, this mistreatment. There's a place here ready to help you thrive and meet your, whatever your goals are. You can come here and chase them without someone trying to stop you.
But that was an adventure, and I see you to be a very courageous young lady. You are very zealous, because this is a country you know nothing about, and what you know about us is over the internet. You get it. And how did your family perceive this decision for you to come back to Ghana?
Right, that's a very interesting question. So I actually surprised my family.
Oh, how did that happen?
Yeah, so I actually sold my house in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you sold it?
I did. I sold it, and I packed my things, and I let them know right before I had a flight out. I think the surprise was more hard to accept, because it's like they didn't get to talk to me and like get their questions in, but in a way that's why I did it that way. I didn't want to hinder myself with like the doubt and questions and concern, and I knew for sure I wanted to come here, and it was so many steps that I had to get through to make, from the passport and the visa applications and making sure the flight was coming and COVID-19 test. It was so much for me to get through that I didn't want to have other people's opinions and thoughts in the back of my head along with that, because it would have really possibly thrown me off, or maybe changed my mind or anything. I was coming, I was determined, and so that's why I did it that way. But I don't have any regrets. I really don't. I have loved coming here. The journey, it was a straight overnight shot from JFK to Accra, so the flight was okay. I had the whole row to myself. I got to lay down. I had 3 pillows, because you put a pillow on each seat. So I had pillows and blankets. It was no problem.
Like a queen.
Yes, for sure. I flew over like a queen, and I felt my ancestors kind of with me, guiding me. So I was comfortable through the process. So it was a fun journey, exciting.
Okay, that was when you were on board, on the plane.
Yes.
And let us look at, we've looked at the external factors. Let us look at the internal factors within you.
Yes.
Okay, personally, undoubtedly, Africa have a very tarnished image in the world over there. I mean, amazingly, people think we live on trees and we are still in the Stone Age period.
That is very
true. Amazes me, but that's what it is, okay? Right. So were you not scared, personally?
Right. I personally was not. So there's a lack of positive media or publicity when it comes to in the United States, when it comes to showing us what it's like here. But for me, even in high school, like my best friend in high school was from Ethiopia. And so
Addis Ababa.
Yes. And her family was just like the cutest, most amazing family. Her mom and dad are just the sweetest people. She had a little sister, and they had me eating like injera bread and eating with my fingers. It was just, so my first chance learning about Africa was a very positive, happy experience.
Okay.
And from there, I met, through different jobs I worked, I met people from Nigeria, from Ghana.
Okay.
And so I knew personal stories of people that lived here, and I knew what their personality was like. I was curious about their culture, so I learned through them.
Okay.
And I never really used the media to guide me on what Africa was like here, right? And I also knew that we, as African Americans, our ancestors were from here, and they had to be amazing people because they made it through a lot, right? To have us to still be here today. So I've always just been curious and excited about the motherland. I feel like it's an amazing place with all these beautiful resources and opportunities here. It's a shame how things have gone in the past in history, but I've always had a positive view and been excited to come back. My family knows I've always loved, referred to Africa as a place that I want to come to.
This is really getting insightful, educative, entertaining as well. But we have to go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back from that short commercial break. I'm still having the pretty queen Monique here on The Gist with Chacha. We are not going to focus here in Ghana when she came here. So Monique, when you came here, what was the culture shock that you experienced?
Well, I really had the idea that I would blend in when I got here. I thought that, I would kind of just fly under the radar, but I stand out apparently. So I think being American here, it has, it's a lot more attention than I expected, but the people are very friendly, very respectful. I've noticed, I love how respectful and kind everyone is. So I love the friendliness, but it's just, I felt like, in the U.S. I wasn't as popular, I guess I would say.
Right here.
Like people stop me when they remember me from the day before, and people are trying to get my number out the blue. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of attention.
A celebrity.
Yes, that's how I feel sometimes. Like at Junction Mall, they all know me. So.
Oh, I see.
But I guess that's a fun culture shock. It just takes me a little getting used to because I'm kind of shy at times, especially in new places. So it's just interesting having a lot of people, a lot of eyeballs, looking, and a lot of attention. But it's friendly attention. I haven't felt any danger at all.
Oh wow, I see. So if you're to describe Ghana in a word, what would that be?
Oh gosh, one word. Aquava, welcome. You guys are so welcoming everywhere. And I really felt welcome to come here. And now that I'm here, I feel welcome to be here. So
okay. So how do you see the Ghanaian business industry? We spoke about business. I love business. Yes. Everyone who knows me knows that. Yes. And we spoke about business. Do you think that this place has a viable and an enabling environment for businesses to thrive?
For sure, I really do. I think I see so many entrepreneurs and people making money, even the sellers on the street. As soon as I got off the plane, there was people knocking on the window you want a bottle of water, you want some bread, you want some tissue, everything that you need. So I see people with a real entrepreneur spirit here. I've seen a lot of businesses. So I think that if people come here, there's a lot I see with real estate and land and the office buildings coming up. So whoever comes, the thing about here is there's no not as many roadblocks trying to hold you back. It's more so people want you to win here. Yeah. So if you have a business and you come here, people are ready and willing to support, and they want to see you grow, and people are willing to help in any way. So I definitely see how businesses could grow here and thrive.
Oh, for sure. Okay, I see. That's great to know. So how about a business idea? Do you think coming here to Ghana, scanning the environment and really studying trends, do you have any business idea that we should anticipate from you?
Yes, absolutely. So actually I started a company in Atlanta before the coronavirus or the COVID-19 virus started and quarantine happened, but it's called Young Kings and Queens of Atlanta. Whoa. And so then my business plan was just to uplift urban youth and teach them about their African history and help them to have self-love and knowledge of self and know that they're capable of anything, right? But since I've come here to Ghana, I really want to focus on figuring out a way to bring maybe teens, like young kings and queens, pretty
Yeah.
much here to not just learn about their history in a book or through movies and videos, but
experience
firsthand experience.
Okay.
I want to integrate the students with the Ghanaian students, maybe getting everybody learning the culture together, because
Okay.
I really just want to connect, the diaspora back here to where we came from. And so I have a few ideas still, churning, so I'm not going to speak too much on those, but look out for me.
Yeah, of course. That's a business idea. You need to be coded about that.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So Ghana is not like the US.
Right.
People even see the US as paradise, as heaven.
Oh, goodness.
And that's due to some of the things that we lack over here. So I would like to ask, what are some of the challenges that you've had so far?
Yes, okay. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is like navigating through, like trying to find new places, not knowing where I am. So like the destination sometimes doesn't have a specific address. It may be like on this road in this city across from this building, and so if you don't know the building, the road, or the city, you're kind of lost. But so I have had some issues trying to figure out where to go and how to get there, or even directions to where I am. If you're getting a delivery, they expect you to tell them directions here, and the way you guys do it is just so different. Like go to this junction and go up small, and the next junction go left. So, I just have struggled a little bit with that, but nothing too major. I always get to where I need to go. It's just I have to, be more patient and understand that things are just different.
Yeah.
So. Patience with that. Also, data is not unlimited here, so that was a little bit of an adjustment, because having to monitor how often I'm using the internet, or when I need to re-up and add it, because in the US I was just used to unlimited data, unlimited talk and text and everything, but here you kind of pay as you go more.
Yeah.
So that's been a little adjustment, but nothing too major. I'm getting used to it. I've been here 2 months now, so I'm getting used to it. It's comfortable.
How far do you want to go with African Diaspora Connections?
Wow, that's a great question too. I think that ultimately, I've been studying Marcus Garvey and what his passion was, and over 100 years ago he was trying to bring Africans back to Africa.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he was successful, we could have avoided, so many issues that we've had to go through over the last 100 years. But now, if we really put our minds together and try to do the same thing, it's a lot easier, because we have planes. Like, they were really trying to come back on ships that would have taken months, but we have a 10, 12-hour flight, we can come back. So I would love to see, people from all over the diaspora, not just America, South America, Europe, wherever Africans have spread out to, and if there's anywhere that they feel that they're not being treated fairly, or, they're judged based on what they look like, or, misjudged, we don't have to accept that any longer. Like, if Pan-Africans are all saying, come home, let's come back, like, let's have a new frontier possibly. And it may take a while, it may, be a lot of hurdles to jump through, but we shouldn't let the size of the dream stop us. We can do it. If we really come together and unite as Africans, there's nothing that can stop us, because we're all over, and that's really a dream I have, that one day, hopefully soon, we can get it together and pack our stuff and leave these people that don't treat us right and come home to Africa.
Okay, I want you to use this opportunity to tell anyone out there who also have the passion to move back to their roots, any African country, but then there's a limitation, there's a drawback due to some prejudice and unwarranted assumptions about Africans and all that. So I want you to use this opportunity to talk to someone out there.
So if there's anyone out there who is frustrated, exhausted, fed up, you feel like you've tried all the options out there to find liberation from the injustice that's happening around you, you are not stuck there. You do not have to accept this treatment. There's a place here welcoming you where your ancestors came from, a place that will love you and wants you to succeed. So you don't have to be afraid. There's a group of us here that can help you if you have any questions, help guide you through the process, and let you know how our experience was. So all I want you guys to do is just at least think about it.
You know, interestingly, there's a community, okay, the Diaspora Transition Network. Yeah, it's a community that is bent on helping returnees from various heritage globally, currently residing in Ghana, so African Americans and people from all walks of life who are currently residing in Ghana.
That sounds perfect. I definitely should look into that myself. What type of
so they are actually it's a network, and they help people of the diaspora in business acquisition. You know, how they are able to go about with registration. If you have an issue with the certification and all that, they call the GRA to come to your rescue. And the community is actually, you know, have the diasporans at heart. So what they do is to connect you with like-minded people who would help you to find Ghana a better place to be at. So this is even a community that would help connect the African American diaspora and then other diasporas here in Ghana. Yes,
absolutely. I love to hear that.
Yeah, you really need to, you know, connect with this community.
I will.
It really gladdens my heart to know you've stayed with me throughout this session of the Gist with Chacha, as I had a very insightful and inspiring conversation with Queen Monique. Before we go, I have a surprise for you. But before the surprise, you would need to speak Chi. So when you came here to Ghana, just let the person watching you out there to know that, hey, I can speak Chi, you know.
Let's see. Well, you put me on the spot. Let me think. Okay, so I know Etienne, how are
Which
you?
means, oh, okay.
Yes. Aye, it would be a response like, okay. Naswe would be NU for the next person to respond. I've learned Yamishao, like God bless you. Yamishao Bebre, God bless you a lot.
Oh.
Let's see. Nyami Adom B, I think by God's grace. I've learned some symbols. I have the
Jinyami, that's Jinyami.
Jinyami symbol. See, I was supposed
Except
to say
God.
yes, only God, or God has the power. So let's see. I think that's what I know. Is that enough for my surprise?
Yeah, that's good. Come on, let me just give you a hand clap. You've done very well.
Thank you.
So this is a package for you from La Glace Jewelry. They just want to say thank you for being on the Gist with Chacha. You can check it out.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
I have a surprise. Oh, some earrings?
Yeah.
Oh, these are pretty. Can I just put it in now? Like I can put it in with my other one maybe. Is that too much?
That's good.
Oh, maybe not. I'm gonna have to take that one out. Oh, a necklace too.
Yeah.
Oh, it says Afia.
Yeah. That's your local Ghanaian name.
I love it. Yes, I was born on a Friday, so I've been told. I've had some people tell me that was my Ghanaian name. Let's see if I can
Do you need help?
Congratulations, he has done it for you, and you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good.
Oh my God, you look so great in it.
Thank you.
That's a queen sparkling on the Gist with Chacha. Thank you so much. Until I come your way next week, it's a bye now.
Bye.